My name is Dr. Kimond Cummings. I'm the Chief Veterinary and Livestock Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands. There's a natural disaster outside. We're under storm watch. So we basically just want to give the farmers a few tips to help minimize the losses as much as possible. So basically we have two types of system that the farmers are engaged in with respect to animal husbandry. They have intensive system where they have the animals worried inside a facility, like pens and so forth. And most farmers here, they literally tie out the animals. So the farmers that have the animals under intensive care, what we would recommend is that they ensure that the facility is capable of withstanding whatever type of natural disaster that we're expecting, whether it's hurricane, the roofs and so, whether the roofs are hurricane proof, they have seals and so on. We're expecting from them that the drains and so leading into the facility is, they're deep and wide, and they're able to remove large volumes of water as quick as possible. So you want to have the feed area dry as possible. No moisture, no water getting inside this, so that moles could take feed, and obviously the food would spoil, right? This would have large economic consequences to the farmer. He would lose a substantial amount of cash because obviously he would have purchased the feed already. So this would be a large economic loss to the farmer. And then for the animal, the well-being, obviously, a couple of days after the animals are unable to eat, they could starve and die. You want to prevent that as much as possible. Water area, you want to ensure that you have adequate water storage in the event that lines are broken and you're unable to get fresh, clean supply of water. You want to ensure that your supply is adequate enough that it could take you up to at least 2-3 weeks after any natural disaster, so that the animals have access to water. For the farmers who are tying the animals out, you want to make sure that they remove them from, they want to take them out from the bush, right? Get them, as in an area where there is no flying objects or trees would fall or so to damage them. Remove them from sides where you have like the river or streams or ravines that would overflow and cause drowning. You want to avoid that as much as possible. You want to remove any ropes from the neck, because most animals might get frightened. If you have any flying or falling objects around, they might strangle from maybe trying to escape or trying to save themselves from damages. And that could also cause some serious damages to the animals, even during and after these sort of disasters. You want to have the animals in an area that's, if you have any sort of area around where it's closed in, maybe a fenced area, but again, as I said, away from any kind of flying or falling objects. Feed, again, you want to ensure that you have adequate amount of feed that's stored in an area that's dry, really, really dry, no moisture getting there to cause spoilage. Water supply, ensure adequate water supply, right? And you just try to make sure that even after the natural disaster, because after every natural disaster, most of the time there's disease outbreaks, so you want to make sure that you have the area cordoned off as much as, and keep the animals in for quite a substantial amount of time. Ensure that the place is cleared, remove all trees and fallen debris, any sorts of galvanized or so that might have been around, wood that may have nail and so in them. That could cause injuries to the animals even after any kind of disaster. So you want to keep them in as much as possible. And then, when you think it's safe as the owner, then probably you could resume to bringing them back out again.